Welcome back. Here's the episode that nobody asked for on our Speed Shak Garage shop truck, the 1981 Ford Courier.
It's a special day, camel short day here at Speed Shak Garage, totally planned. And we're really excited to show you guys. Probably seen this in the background.
We take it everywhere. It's at all the shows. It hauls the junk, goes to the scrapyard, to the junkyard.
Yeah.
And we got a list of stuff that's needed because this thing is the more neglected than ever.
And this is also my favorite of the stable to drive. Whenever we're going to a show or whatever, and Mike sometimes will ask, what do you want to drive? And I almost always say this guy.
So yeah, we're gonna get going. We're gonna roll the shot of this thing rolling. Just like every YouTube build, you're gonna need a cardboard list, which seems standard. So I got one for the truck because it needs a little bit of everything. So first, we're starting off, we're gonna show off the truck. Then we're gonna come down here and do a seat belt, maybe paint some grill inserts, I'll show off, check some brakes, maybe change the oil. It leaks enough that I put a cord in so it doesn't really ever need to change. Maybe plugs. Also, like every cool truck needs, is a CB radio and antenna. And maybe we'll get to cleaning it out and putting a battery tender on it. It's a long list with a lot of little things, so I think we'll knock some of these out. And so we're gonna get started with the showing you guys all the little stuff on this. Seems like people think it's cool and they ask a lot of questions on it, and we're gonna get to it. All right, first we're gonna drop down here to the wheel setup. Stock Steelies, 14-inch moons that I think are a knockoff, I can't tell. Anyways, spun aluminum moon discs on the 14s. They are, I think this one might be painted white. Yeah. They were once painted white, and I have the original center caps, but these look pretty cool. So we're going to pull these up because we're going to be checking the brakes anyways, but there you go. Stock 14s. And then this is a Mojave tire. I don't know, some random brand. High performance. And they're like 165? 185/70.
That's actually bigger than I thought they would be
185
for some reason.
Well, it had even bigger tires. I think we're at a 205.
Right.
And when I got these ones put on, I went down to 185, which I think is better and lowers the truck a little bit more. And it doesn't rub anymore. These fenders are kind of rolled, but not really. Then actually to the fenders, we're going to show a shot real quick of this truck when I first bought it and what it looked like. I have that. All right. So as you saw, those fenders, the whole front end wasn't really there. The fenders. So this truck was a parts truck for a project of someone else's. They got it running and I bought it for $400 and some car parts. That's where this came from. And these fenders were all different colored. So they were painted. I think this is a tractor enamel yellow. And it's starting to rust a little. Very common with these trucks in those corners. And I might sand that down eventually and fix it, but for now I don't mind. So this is a whole bunch of different yellows, but the fenders, like I said, were replaced. We'll use the screwdriver now as a pointer. The doors. This is the third iteration of the door panels. These doors are originally green. So the interior part of it is like a screen with some flake. The outsides had been primered when I got them. It was in rough shape. Some of the trim holes, there was originally trim that runs down it. Those are all filled and painted white because why not? I definitely don't find the yellow, can't find the color yellow for this truck. So I went with the white, kind of like a shop truck thing anyways. You always see doors, different colors. And we have the logo. And this is the new one. that Daniel has designed.
Yeah, that was like a kind of a surprise because I had, I do design and we always throw stuff back and forth. And I had done this one and sent it to Mike, and lo and behold, a couple times later, he kind of showed up and it was this. So you can kind of see this. This might wind up on a shirt, but it's the shark fin and then the busted up checkered flags and off-centered because I like off-centered. So, anyways.
So there it is in a diamond shape. I guess this is also, I think, John Deere green tractor enamel.
Yeah.
And this is
the thing going on.
Yes. I think this is white enamel. And this has held up really well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. There's about a dozen coats of white on here.
Oh.
That's probably why. And some random Amazon rear view mirror, which these never came with on the passenger side, but it helps when doing things with it. Of course, we've got touches of lowrider stuff. We've got like the little vent flaps.
Little cigarette vent.
And then matching the front bug visor. So we move
some drift stitch right here.
Yeah, it cracked. The thing about this is for a Toyota, and they don't make them for this. So I found it on eBay for Toyota, and it originally would break right here. And so I kind of unbent it and then rebent it right there, which caused that crack. So if you're ever doing it, just heat up this stuff and it'll work better. I should have done that in the first place. Then we go to the bumper and the grill here. This is a 1980 bumper for all those Courier nerds. This is the 1-year bumper where they had the turn signals inside the bumper, which we don't have here. We just have some mesh because I put little LED lights for turn signals. And then I'd found on eBay again, which was really cool. Someone sent it to me at one point. This truck would have had the turn signals here, but instead I found these original OEM Ford inserts. So you pull out the light and you put these in, and this is on the list because these are driving me nuts. I never realized this should be painted black inside here so it disappears, because right now it kind of shows up, but you want that part inside to disappear. So we're going to be painting inside there black. Anyways, it gets rid of it and cleans up the grill. I really like these a lot. So we're going to make them nicer. And then, of course, we had rat fink. I don't know how many people have said, oh, you're from California. And I'm confused because I've never seen California do a plate with a rat fink in the middle.
As an ex-Californian, that never happened. Probably should have, because
it's
rat
cool.
fink, was originally done in California.
Yeah.
Those who know it's kind of a great thing.
I don't know how people confuse. Anyways, this isn't from California. This is a New Mexico truck, tried and true, I think, since the day it rolled off the lot. Also, we have a cool little old
this is one of my favorite things too. It's purple, it's small, it's like feels
came off
very
of some old truck I found, or a buddy had bought, and he didn't want them on there, which was crazy. So I grabbed both of them from him, and this one had the glass and the other one didn't. So you got the one offset light, kind of those like rat rod style stuff. Again, this bumper, I think it's held on with like 2 bolts.
Look at that.
I think I couldn't find the other ones. I don't know. Anyways, like I said, the fender of this truck was smashed. So the grill and stuff is whatever and underneath. And it's not the prettiest, but I've made it work. As if you can reference the old picture of when I first got it. All of this was missing. This bottom valence was missing. All that fun stuff. Okay. It has this beautiful cab visor. Even Courier logo on the top.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh,
so this
cool.
was, I'm imagining this is from Ford or somebody. Anyways, they took enough time to put the Courier logo. It's obviously not attached because I've never seen one before and I don't want anything to happen to it. And currently we're having a hard time keeping this bolted to the cab. So I'd use some riv nuts, and since they're the aluminum ones, the threads just got ripped out. I believe since this thing going flying down freeway speeds and the wind hits the bug, since I put the bug visor on, it hits that and it disturbs this and has caused this it's caused this issues, because before I had the bug visor on, this never really had any problems. It was on by some self-tappers and never fell off. So I think that's causing some problems, but I want to keep it. So we're going to revamp our riv nuts and eventually build some brackets, I think, that come down to the pillars and hold this nice and taut. That's in a future project because that's going to take a lot of time and sorting it out, as they say. So we're going to get to that later. Anyways, wanted to show this off basically because you can't find them anywhere and it's super cool.
Pretty rad.
So that's that. I am 6 foot and this is a 7 foot bed. I mean, I could stretch out, but I'm hitting all the junk in the back that we need to take out. Yeah. So we have a 7 foot long truck bed with the nice tie downs. You can't go wrong. And
well, you could go wrong.
You could go
wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't tie anything major down to those.
It holds the tarp down.
Yeah.
It's got a beautiful rust hole under this parking only sign. I believe the only reason it rusted is because there was leaves and stuff when I got it that had just been sitting in here, and they just had rotted it out. So I riveted this on. This has been in since I bought the truck like 6 years ago now, 7. It has some custom features of some bed lights. So some old fog lights I put in that just light up the entire bed. Really don't know why, but it looks cool at night. It has a motorcycle, which was originally a bicycle thing, you know, bolted bikes, it kind of holds it, because it has this old military footlocker that I I was cleaning out when in the military. I was cleaning out an old storage unit that, of course, they had on base, and they had some of these and a whole bunch of other junk. But I grabbed 2 of these, so I have one that's nice, and this one has been living in the back of this truck since I've owned it, and it's held up. It's in there with some ratchet straps.
Oh,
and these are old as can be, and they're still holding up. And it's locked by a shop rack. So if we open it up, you can see it's full of some junk. We got the tarp, some extra coolant because it leaks just a little bit, some extra water, oil, jumper leads, and some Christmas decorations for Christmas, and I think an air filter, which I don't even know why, and a funnel. Yeah, just a little bit of everything in here. That's that. Of course, it has, I don't know, of course, the bed has a whole bunch of stuff. So there's a wheelbarrow wheel and some caution tape. I have a matching.
Oh, I put that there.
Matching jack that a long time ago I painted to match the truck.
Oh.
And actually, that's something we need to add to the list because we need to build a new mount strap for it because it did have a leather strap that held it. Now it's rotted out. So we're going to do the jack strap. So eventually get the handlebars mounted there. Spare tire probably could go under the truck, but it doesn't have any of the stuff to hold it anymore. So it lives up here.
Easy access.
Easy access because it's actually, I've only had it, never gone flat. I have had to use it once. But when I bought the new tires, I had to find another new spare that fit the size. So luckily, I got a used one that's actually in really good shape. Got that. We have some random cans, basically just going along with the rat rod look. There's there's still some cat litter and some bolts in there, just in case you have an oil spill. And if I ever lock myself in, this is how I get in. So it just lives there. I'm not going to show you how I do it, but that just sits there just in case. We have all the goodies. I think this is where all the ratchet straps are kept. Yeah. So all the ratchet straps live in this old FOD can to everyone else it's an ammo can. But these cans usually live on the backs of trucks for the flight line. And you put FOD, foreign object damage stuff. So any little bits of metal that you find or anything on the flight line, you throw it in one of these and you empty it at the end of the day. So it's kind of a tribute to that of back in the day being in the military. So I bolted one of these down. It holds all the straps and no one can steal it because it's bolted down. I always wonder if anyone's ever tried pulling it, which I think it's funny, but it is bolted down. An extra gas filler because just when you go to the swap meets, you find those things. A box. And then there's been some D-rings welded in just for extra straps because the side bed rails don't do the best. And going into one more thing, the tire. When I bought this truck from a friend of mine, this rope don't know why, has lived on this truck since he owned it. And he's like, oh, you shouldn't get rid of it. So
It's good luck rope.
I guess somehow, yeah. So this
I
rope
like that.
has lived on this truck forever. It holds the tire, and the little bit left over, which transitions us to the back, has now lived here. That old like Volkswagen thing, no one knows why, but there's rope wrapped around all the Volkswagens, and it's there. Cool. Then tailgate, clear coated it a long time ago. It's already flaking. This is why you don't clear coat patina stuff, because it looks terrible in a couple years. So once this clear coat, I'm probably gonna come over, wet sand it off because it just looks like poop. And I painted the Ford white. These were originally should be red, but I didn't know that at the time. And it's got the original steel bumper, which I don't used to have off of it, but I like it on because it's stout. And it has a tow hooch because we still tow with it. Underneath the big bass, there's a 2-inch ball. It's almost impossible to get off. And just in case we need to haul anything on the trailer. Then, no idea where this came from. I found it one day and bolted it to the bumper because it's a rat rod.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
This is the truck for accessories.
it's so random, and it's bolted in there, and I've used it occasionally actually to tie down. It looks like a post for like a gate.
But one of the best things,
As you can see, is it has its own.
it was Muse.
Yes.
Those are available
Yes, we have them.
on our Etsy if you want them.
We have the link below. Check out our stickers. This is my other cars in the Arroyo. So if you live in New Mexico or you want to be part of it, the Arroyo is where all the cars go when they get stolen or whatever.
Or
So,
trashed.
Trashed. So there's that. It has a shop truck on it. Can't go wrong. We've got a couple of our other stickers up here. Some little OG Speed Shak Garage ones. And that takes care of some of the accessories. We're going to...
Go on the list.
Oh, the list also.
Oh, no, let's good. Let's take them inside.
Yeah, we're going to go inside.
There's some really cool stuff in
I
there.
got to add because there's one brake light that doesn't work somewhere.
Oh,
so we're
okay.
going to add that. All right. If you want to open up that one, brake light. Okay. Since this is a work truck, it is always full of crap, and it's always got some stuff in it, and never keep it that clean because there's no point. But I daily drove this for years because I lived in the South Valley. No one messed with it. Got good gas mileage, and it was cool. So I've drove this for years. So I wanted to make it semi-comfortable. So the seat had been reupholstered when I got it, which was a big selling point to me.
yeah.
Because it's nice and new. Same with the door cards match, surprisingly. And the one thing I started with, I think the first thing I did was probably not even the steering wheel. We have no cup holders, so I used an old coffee can, bolted in as a cup holder there. And then I think the steering wheel came next because I was super stoked. Wanted a cool steering wheel. This was the truck to do it. So we went with the cool octagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 sides. Octagon from Moon Eyes. These are cool. And it matches, kind of goes with the green inside the doors frame area. So it just kind of worked out. And then the dash itself has been completely rebuilt by myself personally. And if you've watched our last video on the Baja Bug, you'll recognize this wood. This is where I first used it. So it's just that plywood stain, and it's held up really well. But what I did is this would have been an all foam dash. There's a speaker here, and that was your one and only speaker. So I cut it, ripped all this off, ripped all the foam off this little bracket here, and kind of fixed the foam up here, put this back on, and painted it with some like bed liner, so it's a little tougher. And then I used some mesh screen over the speaker, and then cut a nice little triangular shape for the top of this.
Classed it up.
It definitely, I think, looks better now. It definitely,
I mean, if you think about it, one of the best things about a Bentley is the wood dash.
Yeah. And
So
it's a
this is
wood
basically a Bentley.
100%. Yeah. Oh, this is Finnegan from Roadkill Garage in 2000. That should be 14. It looks like an 11. But in 2014, he came through. I drove this. He was super cool. wanted to check it out.
Big mini truck fan.
Yeah.
Finnegan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if he's ever watching, there's your signature on the dash still. I actually polished the rest of this, so it's all shiny. You still got your glove box full of, let's see, we got some stickers, the Hula Girl that broke, and some center clamps.
It did break, huh?
Yeah, and so she needs to go back on.
Yeah.
But there's that, and this Moon Ice cup cracked and didn't hold water, so I keep it to hold change now. It's had
It
this.
is a very cool.
Yeah, I have a bag with little stuff in it anyways. Then I went and was tired of having a single speaker or a Bluetooth radio, one or the other, just no sound. And so I splurged and bought a $20 radio. And this, surprisingly, from Amazon, if you look up retro car radio, this is what pops up. It's surprisingly, the reviews aren't the greatest, and I took the risk because it's $20. Sometimes the screen falls off or they stop working. This has not stopped working, or it has stopped. It keeps working.
Yeah.
And this truck sits outside. This is probably the first time it's been inside a garage in years.
Yeah.
And this thing keeps working. No issues with it. And I'll show you some of the stuff I did to make this work better. But yeah, this is a $20 retro car stereo. It's got Bluetooth. It's got an aux cord. I think you could put a USB in there and a SD card, because that's how they listen to music. And it works. So that's super cool. You can see it turns on, and it's got time, everything. Boom. Bluetooth. Super cool. I like the look of it. It really just blends in with the truck. You don't have one of those stupid looking 90s ones.
Yeah.
And then
one of my favorite things I just want to point out really fast. It's, I think, an OEM thing, but on the dash, these come, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but they come to like a point, and it feels so like extra for such a basic utility truck.
Yeah, I don't know why, but they are here.
See if you can get it.
It's
hard to see, but it's just one of those things that I was like,
why is this stick out? No one will know.
Yeah, like, was it easier to do it that way at the shop or the whatever? Yeah. But yeah, I love it. I think it just adds to the sort of like subtle coolness. Also, something you added that I love
the floor mats.
These floor mats are so sick. Checkers automatically gives you, 1 or 2 more horsepower because it's basically the same thing as a checkered flag.
The best thing is that I think they're still off-gassing from 4 years ago, so it has an odd smell to them, but that's just now the smell of the truck.
Oh, yeah.
These are like...
It smells like an old truck.
Yeah. At first, they were really bad, and I had to leave the windows down because, these are like cheap Chinese. Anyway, so I bought the set, and these are rear, like little squares that I cut and then screwed over to the thing.
I didn't even know that.
That's these would have been like the rear for the back of the car or whatever. And then we move. We've got door panels built. This isn't anything special, but these are ABS plastic door panels.
Oh.
Like they used to be cardboard and it just fell apart. So I cut out some ABS plastic and screwed those on there. And then we're going to, that's about it. And then the one thing, like I said, we're going to be doing, and unfortunately I thought we got 2 of them, but the seat belt is the original one. And honestly, it's
a little crunchy.
It's crunchy. It's itchy. I don't like it. I don't feel safe with it. I mean, the whole truck's not safe, but like, mostly because this thing is itchy and gross.
Yeah.
So we're going to be replacing it, and I thought I got 2 of them, but I only found the one. So we're going to be doing that next. We're going to be pulling out the seat, and we're going to show you the stereo system in this thing because it's behind the seat. But I think what we're going to start with is getting all the trash out.
That's probably a good idea.
There's gloves. There's my multimeter I actually was looking for.
Oh, look at this. Speaking of.
And then we have our sweet shop rags, which we will be putting up. Or, you know what? You just buy anything. We'll probably throw one in. So
yeah, this is our first attempt of making our own screens.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to kind of mess around with it. And yeah.
Cool. So, of course, we got the Dunkin' Donuts and water bottles.
Probably mine.
I don't know what other treasures we might find. Some more water bottles. A whole thing of caution tape.
For the car shows.
Car shows. That's time to go. That's a mess.
For drugs.
I have the shrunken head. It actually, this thing has so much torque and speed. I floored it off the line racing a Lamborghini, and this flew off. So pretty crazy how much horsepower this has, or which we should show soon. The engine underneath. Oh, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the second one of these. So we need that. Oh boy, we'll go through there. So this is where all my gloves, I guess, go to die, because I found, let's see, there's 4 sets of gloves. Tiki Man that I made into a shift knob that didn't work, but he just lives in the truck. A V-band clamp for a starter duct on a C-130. Don't know why. Let's see what else. Oh, the bolt that had fallen. This is what held the alternator on for probably a year with no nut on this side and just jiggled there. That's how many threads this had. Anyways, that's been replaced. I thought the alternator was going bad, so I bought one. It was just this. So we don't need
Check your bolts
anymore. Yeah. Some D batteries. This is the mount off of this is the rear mirror thing for the RX-7.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll just hang on.
Because we pulled the mirror off of this.
We pulled this mirror off to put on the RX-7 to go racing, and then I put it back on because I realized I use it a lot. Because, quick story, I was hauling to the dump. The whole thing was packed full. This mirror wasn't there, so I couldn't see anything on my right side. So it was a lot of just stay in the right lane, and hopefully no one comes on that side. Didn't die. All right, and then we have the floor mats. But now that we got into this, I'm going to show you the quick rust repair. So the only place this is rusted out, this beautiful rubber floor mat, was right here. So I used some old license plates, self-tapped them to it. Well, first we did some rust treatment, so I coated it with that. I didn't even cut it out.
You did?
I just painted over it.
Oh boy.
And then I just screwed these to it to keep the water out because water was getting in. So underneath here is just some hole somewhere. I think it's like right. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's rusted repair. And then you just put this over and boom, you're done. Somehow this rubber mat has survived the whole life of this truck. Then we have a motorsports report. This is our local New Mexico motorsports magazine. If you're
the authority in Albuquerque.
Yes. They give us all the info for everything going on. Definitely, if you're local, check it out.
Oh, that's a Levy app. That's cool.
Yeah, there is our good friends at Rust is Gold out at the track, Mixel Flat Track Club. Anyways, if you're actually super interested, these are free. My multimeter that I've been looking for, the rag, that's cleaned. Some more this. I think let's just go through the glove box.
And for those who said, there was really one person that was like, oh, it's kind of messed up to like do an episode. So we did an RX when we got it and we started pulling stuff out. We were just having fun. But there was definitely someone who was like, oh, that's kind of rude to do and this and that. We'll do it to our own cars as well. Dude, that's sick.
So this,
look at that.
I forgot.
I want that thing.
So the spring broke on it, so it doesn't roll up. But again, I was driving this daily, and the sun on the back of my neck was killing me. So this one had suction cups, and I had it suction cupped to the back window, and it would just live there and keep the sun off of me.
Really sick.
Yeah. So now that I don't drive it anymore, I'm actually probably going to.
It hooks onto those.
Yeah. So it'll either hook on or suction cup. But maybe we'll just do this. Boom.
That's so cool.
So now we have another moon eyes. Anyways, that was saving my neck for the longest time. Yeah. Broken, whatever. Oh, geez. There's lots of stuff. More are stickers, some gloves, extra fuse. Oh, here they are. Those are the suction cups. You'd see how these are clear.
New Mexico sun will fuck anything up.
Messed it up. Extra fuses. We'll leave in there the remote to the radio because it's so far away.
Yeah.
Man, there's old masks from years ago. One of our old
priceless original
priceless. We don't need that. Discount for the tires. A whole $300 for all new 4 tires. That's why I like this truck. More gross masks. The Canadian maple leaf air freshener.
Does it smell like maple?
It did.
Oh, that's so cool.
But now it just smells like old truck. We have some safety glasses, and I'll probably just leave those in there. I don't like them as much. I do like these ones, though. Those ones are cool. That's about it. Broken Hula Girl, which she'll just live in there again. One Day, Maple Leaf. Okay, so that clears out that. Oh, it actually does have insurance, which...
Or it had at one point.
No, it has insurance now. That's under Haggerty. Not a sponsor, but if you have your own old car, go to Haggerty. Oh, wow, this is from a previous owner. He got an alignment done. Says alignment are warranted for 30 days. Lack of rotation will cause tires to wear bad, like a bad alignment.
That's good info.
Which we'll get into about lowering this, and it still is fine.
We didn't even mention that.
No. So yeah, it was aligned in 2016.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, maybe that's a 6. I don't know, or 7. That's a 7. It's not. Yeah. Anyways, so VIN number not available. Anyway, I don't need that. It's a 1980 Courier with the alignment from 2016. And what else did he do to it? Oh, this was the original tires, which were 215/70, so even bigger. Yeah, they were rubbing, but also it wasn't lowered 3 inches, so that's probably why they fit better. Don't have those anymore. So that sums up basically what's in the glove box. So we're gonna be pulling this seat out. I did it once before, and now I'm gonna try to figure out it again. But as you see, it folds back, and we're gonna talk about what I had to do to this seat to make it adult comfort friendly. Because it had no support. But we're going to try to work on, I think there's just bolts in the front and on the side, it looks like, because this whole thing slides. So we're going to get those 2 off, get this seat out, talk a small bit about it, and then what's underneath the seat, and these custom door panels I made out of ABS plastic and more.
Those look so good, though. Yeah. Like, I would not expect them to, like...
Yeah.
Looking at it now, it's like, oh yeah, that's whatever, but I would never suspect.
So again,
wow, are those 3-inch speakers?
I think these are 4.
4.
I didn't want to cut a hole. Yeah. So there was a hole originally, I think 4 speakers or something. And I had like big 7-inch ones. That was the plan. And I didn't really want to cut it out. So I reordered some of these little 4-inch, and they fit perfectly in the hole. This is, again, some more intake mesh for a Huey helicopter engine. Oh. That's what all this mesh is. It's super cool though. And I kind of just bent it around it. This is more of that ABS plastic. I recycled a lot of it. This is actually, all the ABS plastic in this is the sides of workout equipment. Like stuff to cover up the cables and everything. Yeah. They were scrapping it, and I knew what this stuff was worth, so I grabbed it all, and that's all of this. So it was all really free. Clever. And this
upcycled it.
Oh yeah. Used to just be cardboard instead, so I cut them, screwed them in with self-tappers, and it's now a nice, clean door panel. And then we threw some sound deadening throughout the whole truck, underneath, everywhere, because it was allowed tin can, and I wanted at least some sanity driving. Yeah. So let's get this seat out so we can get this belt, because as you can see, it's intertwined with this, and also we can just clean it up some more, because I want to get this seat out to see what's underneath it. I don't know who put these on. They're so hard. They're very
on. Got out their aggression or something.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to get these.
Not going anywhere.
Nope. We'll hand this to
times like this. I'm glad I'm the guy holding the camera.
Yeah. I did not think I put them on that tight. So while doing this, finding out, you want your seat nuts and bolts to be super tight, and your seat belt ones not to be tight. They were just on there, I would say. So that was a good thing.
Well, you didn't lose the bolts, so that's...
I didn't lose any bolts, so they're on there. Oh, and then... Oh, there it goes.
This is so light.
It's not too bad at all, yeah.
It's performance light.
You got it?
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. When I bought it, they had reupholstered it, which was awesome, and which I love. But this back brace piece was broken, and that's like your whole lumbar support. So I pulled it and I boxed it in, and then welded it, got it all fixed, and then I shoved 10 pieces of foam in here to give it a little lumbar, because you just push and it just goes in. So that's my old man. in me of lumbar support. Ooh, tip trick too. Forgot to mention. So the speakers you kind of saw, I cut those out of that ABS plastic. And instead of throwing them away, I reused them on the door pulls. This is the only one that has the little bezel around it, but the rest of them didn't. So this is the plastic that I had drilled out of the speakers to cover it up. So many people had came up with different ideas, and I was like, oh, I just cut them for the speakers. I just put it there, and now you have a nice trim bezel. Under here, we have the Soundstorm Laboratories 250 watt by 2 channel amp that I bought when I was 16 from a guy, no joke, named Thor in an apartment complex in Utah. Weirdest experience ever, but I bought that for $25 off of Thor. And it's still working.
That's $25 you ever spent.
Yes. So the whole point of this is because I don't trust that cheap $20 radio. Didn't trust it anyways to even run these 4-inch speakers. So I threw this in because I had it sitting around. It's all wired in. I wired the power wire from the battery. Occasionally it cuts on and off. Still don't know why, but also I don't care too much because it comes back on. Okay, so let's get this seatbelt off. Let's get the old one off, get the new one on. I'll show you what I got for that. You want this phone? Here. The one thing I'm worried about is I didn't measure. And this one is like 4 inches shorter. So I'm hoping it sticks up enough through the seat, which I don't know if it will, because these are probably supposed to be more like mounted on the side like that.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking I could just do it there. Now looking at these might just not work whatsoever. But we're going to try it anyway. So we're going to bolt it down. And I guess just bend it. Oh, man, maybe it's a good thing I did get two because these ones might be too short. Oh, yeah. So definitely shorter than I wanted. And Daniel made a good point. I mean, I'd love to use these because these are nicer looking. But the main concern is the webbing material, and this is all cable. So honestly, if this clicks into there, I'll just keep these, but I don't think it's going to work.
No.
So we're going to give it a shot.
And always go to it. I don't think that's going to even... You're going to have to reach into the seat. Like...
You got it?
Yeah. Oh!
That's why I was...
Got my...
You okay?
My Franzenstücke.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm fine. So we're just going to, obviously, before we bolt it in...
Throw the seatbelts in there. And then, so we got it all bolted in, and it's too short. Obviously, this is shorter than this one. And so
significantly shorter.
Instead of just living and making it work, I'm going to order the right length buckles, which is this extendo long 14-inch, 20-inch, however long this is, buckle. We're going to put in the old stuff back in because, well, it was working. Well, that's how you uninstall, reinstall, or uninstall, install, uninstall, reinstall your old seatbelt in a 1980 Ford Courier because we got the wrong size, think it would fit, and it doesn't. So we put them all back together. So we're going to close the doors, open the hood, and show you underneath, and then pull the wheels and tires, show you how we lowered this thing the cheap and easy way.
Recording.
All right, so a little secret to the old truck. There is no hood latch pop. So you got to dig your finger in there, push it to the side to then grab the pop. The cable broke, and I've never fixed it, nor cared to, because it's kind of a deterrent. All right, here we go. Look at this. It's a 2.3. Can't go wrong. I think they put this everything from the Mustang to the Pinto to the old Ford Courier and Rangers. Man, I think they had this engine in up to past the 90s, the same block, everything. These are super common in dirt track cars. They turbo them, everything. Great engine. Has yet to fail me, to be honest. We got the alternator. Obviously, I talked about that bolt coming out. And I think it was down here. This one way down there. This one had fallen out and was just dangling around. So what I want to do up under the hood, why did we come under the hood?
I don't know.
Do the plugs and show you this sweet 2.3.
Was your cardboard?
Huh?
Cardboard list.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wrote it down. Woo! Oh, we were gonna try to sort out a battery tie down. So the seat belts, we're gonna write fail. Oh, and we're gonna pull out those grill inserts, and Daniel, we're gonna hit them with some paint, let them dry while we do other stuff. So seat belts fail. The battery tie down and the battery tender. So we're gonna wire up a tender on this thing, so that, I don't know, Napa's battery is kind of garbage and it dies in a week. Maybe there's a drain on this. I'm not going to dig into it. So the solution is to put a battery tender on it. So we're going to wire in a permanent battery tender that I can plug into the side of the truck and not have to wire it. I can just park the truck, plug it in, and be done. All right, Daniel's working on those grill inserts. I'm going to show you what I came up with for a battery tender. They're not a male or female, it's both. Anyways, wire. So you see that plugs into the battery tender that I have. I wired and spliced in. I'm not ashamed. It's some speaker wire. And just soldered it. So we have it extended now. And I put it over the battery here. I ran out of eyelets. So we have them wrapped around just to get this in. So it's wrapped around the bolts there. You know, nothing that a little... Actually, there's nothing you can do. It's just wrapped around. So what I'm going to do now is tuck this down through. I'm planning on shooting it out the bottom of the fender here. I have a little clamp that's also holding on some of the wiring that's running to the back of the bed. So my plan is to fish this down, stick it out. That way I have access to the battery without having to pop this hood every time. Just going to steer it through. Looks like there's a hole for the inside fender, so that'll just drop through that hole to help keep it from touching the exhaust. We got the clamp. There's the wire. It just dropped down from up in the engine bay. And that's that clamp I was talking about. I already had it for this red wire, which is a power wire to the back to run lights. And we're going to just run a good old self-tapper into there. Just keeping it somewhat taut. Okay, so that's that. And this, it's just going to go up and over. And there's a little support here, so we'll just leave it there. There's the connector right there. And we'll just get some zip ties on it. And I think it'll be fine. Just dangling. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. You can just tuck it up underneath the fender when it's not in use. Okay, there we go. So we'll throw a zip tie up there. Daniel has pulled out all of these. And I think we talked about this.
Do you want them in the inside there too?
This needs to be black. We're going to paint the bottom black too. So just this top piece is going to stay silver. Just the top, because like the grill. So that way.
So like that's fine.
Yeah, that is perfect. So let me see. Yeah. So we're going to do it just like that. So this is black. Basically, so hopefully all this gets kind of hidden and you see just the pop of the fins.
Yeah.
There we go. Daniel got them all taped up and coating them with some, what do we got? That's the Rustol
black
primer. So I'm hoping the flat black kind of blends in with the background.
Yeah, it won't be shiny.
Yeah, it won't be shiny because none of this is shiny. So when you look, that flat black hopefully just blends in. That's the goal. All right, let's get this truck in the air.
Let's just see real fast that the brake lights work.
Well, one of them, let's see which ones work.
Yeah,
Yes.
here, take this and now
Okay, I'm going to move this.
I'll step on the brake. Then we'll actually change the pads. If the light's out, then it's pointless. Just kidding.
We don't need brakes. We don't need brakes where we're going.
Okay, you ready?
No. All right. Okay, so is that brakes?
Yes.
So yeah, there's one out now. Just turn the lights on. I don't remember how now. Oh, there's like a switch.
Is that it?
Oh yeah, turn the key not all the way on.
Oh, that's
wipers. It's Actually, wait, turn everything off. The light switch.
This isn't it.
That's not it. Oh, yeah, don't turn that on.
Oh, shit.
No, it's fine. It's weirdly stuck. That's lights. Here, turn the key on real quick. Oh, yeah, look. Well, before, there's our fog lights. Okay. Now, you can turn the key off so the pump doesn't run. Okay, so that's taillights are on. Now hit the brakes. Okay, so we actually, I mean, it has turn signals. Oh, you might have to turn the key on for that one. Now the other side. Okay, so this whole bulb right here is just gone. The rest work. So we're just going to pull this out and find what's wrong with that. Take these off, on, off. Because we'll find out what bulb this is. Ooh.
Spider home.
There's so many gross things in there. Yeah. Okay. So this top one. That's burnt. So we have the light out. We're gonna go get one of these, but put that in to get this working. We still just need to check those brakes to see how worn out they are. All right, so I scrounged through some of the extra parts. We're back from lunch and found a light bulb that I think will work. So Daniel's gonna hop in there and before, oh, yeah, it works. Did you hit the brakes? There we go. So they both work. As I say, before we put it in there, I wanted to make sure it worked. Whoops. Well, I'll tell you how much the parking brake works. I just drove in with it on. Okay. So we're going to get those grill inserts. I want to show you. They came out pretty awesome. I think as good as they're going to get for what they are. And let's get that front back on. They came out pretty great. The only thing is the tape itself just isn't that great a tape. So we have a little bit of leakage of paint there. So I'm just taking this razor blade and just lightly scraping the edge. Only bummer is I think these things are just going to show up a little bit more than normal because they have some rust on them. But we're not worried about that. We're just worried that they had slight overspray. Man, do I want to paint these all? Man, they're just going to show up so much. Oof. All right, we're going to paint them. Do a little spritz. Just a nice extra thick layer just to fill in that Phillips head so you can't get screw in it. All right. All right, well, we're just finishing up this last part of the truck. Our little screw heads finally dried. Took a while, I think, with the humidity and everything. They just were super tacky. So I got some of them in. We're going to get this last one in. And since some of these clips broke that I used back there, the little U-clip screw, we screw assortment box. And that just picked up that at the Harbor Freight. And they're super cheap and they obviously rust quickly, but they'll work for now. So I'm going to get this last one in. We did get it all cleaned up. And I think this is going to look really good. So let's get that last one in. Not too tight. Just strip them right out. A nice tight fit, that's for sure. All right, so there we go. Now we have a completed grill. And I think it looks 10 times better with that black. And I'm glad I waited and painted those screw heads. I think that just cleans it up slightly for how bad this truck is. That's clean looking. That makes sense. Well, that wraps up this episode, our intro to the shop truck. Leave a comment below if you want to see more of this truck or you have more questions that we didn't answer. We're going to have a couple more videos coming out on it. I love this truck. I love working on this truck. So please shoot me some ideas what we can do with it. just about anything. I'm pretty open with it. And also, if you're part of the mini truck crew club, the people that love mini trucks, let me know in the comments too what your favorite mini truck is or your dream mini truck. I want to know because I'm always looking for them too. I would love to get some more. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one and hopefully more on this. It was cool being here.